And if you know me, I don't want children. I absolutely know for a fact, 1000%, I do not want children. And then I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those.
Hey man, what you mean I'm one of those, bro?
I continue doing more chores as I'm forced to do as a traditional wife. Traditional woman, I'm forced to stay in the house all day, make my controlling husband a sandwich.
We have officially reached a point where women are demonizing men for wanting their own biological children.
God forbid something happens to me and someone else raises my son. Does that make that person more of a father than I am?
He wants to try to beat her for a child no matter what it takes. And for some reason, that made her upset.
The man who, granted, very kind, very sweet, super nice guy, easy to hang out with. But the topic of children came up. And if you know me, I don't want children. I absolutely know for a fact, 1000%, I do not want children. You can't talk me out of it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you.
And so I always love to talk to men that say they want to be fathers, okay? And he starts boasting about wanting to be a dad. He wants to do the messy part. Is it messy? He wants the loud, every part of it. I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, so you would want to adopt children if you never found the right partner? And he goes, no, they have to be my biological child.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those. And he's like, yeah, like I want to be the father that I never had. Okay, you're one of those.
Because he wants to be the father he never had. He's one of those. What is wrong with men wanting to have their own kids nowadays? Like, I'm telling you guys, I don't know, feminism. It's like look at the way she looks. She's like, look at her eyes. You see it? She's straining her eyes because she can barely think. She's not thinking logically. You can tell the brain switched off. A man is supposed to want to have his own kids. Every time you ladies say this, I go, look at nature. Look in the lion species. Also, there's other species out there. When they come to mate with the lioness, they kill the children. Why? Because they want to kill the children of the other man because he may be thinking revenge. Because it's the same thing with anybody's children. Like look what happens when little young male children, right? When somebody kills their parents, what happens? The guy grows up and says, okay, I want to kill all Germans. Or I want to kill all slave owners because he killed my father. Or I want to kill, right? You see the movies. There's a reason why it's this way. And you want it to be the other way? Right? Oh, I guess because men provided the freedoms that we all can enjoy. Men are supposed to just eat it and sit down and take it like a man. No, I think not. But I'm not the only one that got something to say.
Child. And then I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those.
Hey man, what you mean I'm one of those, bro? Hey, like no disrespect on any single parents, bro, out there, bro. I know it's hard out there. But this girl just said, if you don't want to take care of a stepchildren, you don't want to be a father, bro. What? Bro, like, a lot of dudes out there want to be a dad, but they don't want to be a dad to everybody, bro. Just like for me, I tell everybody this: I want to settle down. I want to find love. I'm ready to be in a long-term relationship. That does not mean I want to settle down with anybody. That does not mean I'm trying to be in a long-term relationship with anybody. Same thing here. I want to be a dad. I want to be a father. I don't want to be a father to anybody. I don't want to be dad to anybody. So if you're gonna follow that, your logic, you gotta date any man who comes up to you. If not, you don't want to actually want to date nobody for real.
We have officially reached a point where women are demonizing men for wanting their own biological children. Like, do y'all understand how ridiculous that argument is? Like, this woman says men who only want biological children don't really want to be fathers. Like, ladies, imagine you met a man that was a single dad, right? And you fell in love with him, had a great relationship. And then your biological clock starts ticking and you tell him, I want a child. And he just says, hey, we already got one. You don't need your own. How pissed would you be with that response? Y'all would lose your You would argue that it's not the same. You'd make a million different arguments. Right at the top of it, that child already has a mother. And talk to that man about how you want your own child, how you want a child that was birthed from you, how you want a child who is part of you. And you would be completely valid in that argument. That's why this argument is so stupid. But somehow this woman, who probably agrees with everything I just said, doesn't think that applies when it's a man. Like, ladies, there are a ton of men out there who, no matter how your biological clock is ticking, no matter how amazing of a mother you would be, they will not give you a child. They will not have a child and raise it with you. But now you're demonizing men who would. You're literally demonizing men who want to have a child with you, who want to raise a child with you, who want to be the best father in the world. And you guys are talking them. Like, ladies, all I'll ask you is that if you see something like this, just change the gender for me and read it as women who only want biological children don't really want to be mothers. And if that statement sounds insane to you, congratulations, you're a normal human being.
So I saw this post from a content creator that said men who want biological kids don't really want to be fathers. At this point, I just feel like some people just be rage baiting. Like, what does that mean? I think I just genuinely don't understand it. So like, let's just try to break it down together. So this is my son. God forbid something happens to me and someone else raises my son. Does that make that person more of a father than I am because they raised my son and I didn't get the opportunity to raise my son? Or because I have him, does that mean I don't really want to be a father? Like, see, it just opens up a wormhole of just nonsense, because this is where I'm going with it. I think we just have to normalize, like, they're just people. Like, if someone hops on the internet and you think that's your viewpoint, then that is your problem. Like, just make it you. Just don't say it's anyone else. Don't blame the other people. Just be like, yo, this is how I feel. This is where I'm going with this. These are the people that are in my life. Like, that's it. Like, just let's normalize that.
Real talk.
Biological children don't really want to be fathers. What? So this woman was talking about how she was talking to this guy who she was, I guess, on Segway for like a date or something, and the topic of children came up. And she was talking to starts bragging about how he can't wait to be a father in the future. He wants to give his child the world. He wants to try to beat her for a child no matter what it takes. And for some reason, that made her upset. So she decided to ask this man, would you be okay with if you adopted children? And he was like, no, I want the children to be biologically related to me. And then she goes on to say, you're one of them. So my question to this is, why are you upset because this man wants to have biological children and he wants to be there for his child? Isn't that a green flag for women? Y'all always talk about how men are never in a child's lives, but the moment a man wants to be in his child's life, you're upset about it. She goes on to say that she doesn't want kids. I mean, like, if you don't want kids, that's one thing. But why are you trying to humble this man by making him feel bad that he wants to have biological children and he wants to be there for his kid? I'm one of them too. I want to be there for my child if I have kids. That's a green flag in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm missing the point of what she's trying to say, but the caption right here, I don't think I am. Let me know what y'all think about this down below.
There are more and more ladies that say things like this every day. Just like you see more and more of them that say, oh, that have kids, that say, oh, I want a man that doesn't have kids. That's what she welcomes. She won't have kids herself, but it's fine for a man to take pain, right? It's fine for a man to serve and protect. It's fine for a man to go out and get the dinner and make my life sweet and make everyone's life sweet and get nothing in return, right? Every man, I said it, it's human nature. But you know what's wild? They're not okay with the natural order of things anymore. No one's okay even with the natural order of things. And I gotta say it, they're gonna say, oh, patriarchy is for men. Men are made to be in control. Look what happened with the small control you had, right? There's a reason why usually women don't run governments. And I know somebody right now watching me saying, oh, look, he's one of those again, the patriarchy. No, because really, mistakes happen. And look, you can't fight it. You can fight it all you want. But mistakes happen because of the way you think. You use your emotions. And you know the first reason, right? Is from what happened in the garden. That was truly the beginning of time. And you made the wrong decision. And then what happened? The man followed you. The first mistake a man ever made. He followed her. And now we all going through the hell.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wow.
And just like that, WWE got another viewer. They got another viewer. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been, all caught up to the WWE universe and what's going on, I'm feeling a little bit of a nostalgia coming along. So it might be time for me to, check back in and see what's going on. What is the nights again? It's Monday Nights Raw? You don't say. Don't you worry, okay? We will get that viewership up. We're going to get that viewership up. Matter of fact, dim the lights, cut out the background noise, change the category to ebony, and baby, I'm going to sign up for the subscription, for the streaming subscription. You got a viewer out of me, okay? It's one hell of a finisher move, I'll tell you that much.
She must like woman. What? That's one hell of a finishing move. Wow. Interesting.
Conservative traditional wife. First thing I do is I make my bed in my pink silk robe. It's very hard to do every single day. Make my coffee, regular cream, regular sugar, and milk, of course. And I go get my makeup and hair done as an oppressed traditional wife would do. And then I get in my oppressed traditional dress that I wear every single day to get the house chores done. I do laundry and chores every day, and it's honestly exhausting. And I'm literally forced to do this every single day. I absolutely hate it. Have to fold all the clothes.
It's funny because really being a woman at home is all so simple. And the way it seems like she doesn't have a ton of kids. She doesn't have kids yet. But even with kids, she's going to be home with the kids, giving them the proper education they should have. What shames this? Feminism. You guys know feminism. That's why she's talking like this.
Chores, sweep, vacuum, and it's super oppressive. It's honestly exhausting living this traditional life of just taking care of my husband, my home, and my traditional roles. Nobody talks about how controlling it is to be a conservative wife. Anyways, I continue doing more chores as I'm forced to do as a traditional wife. I literally am not allowed to leave the house as a traditional woman. I'm forced to stay in the house all day, make my controlling husband a sandwich because that's what traditional conservative wives do. And look at how cute my husband is getting back from his conservative, controlling traditional job. Now I'm forced to make him dinner, and that's my life as a controlled traditional conservative wife. Comment for more. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, she had to do that. Now take a look at the comments. Look what it says. The first comment. Not completely sure, but I think I might have heard just a smidge of sarcasm in there somewhere. Yes. That's what she has to do. And look what she said, just a tad. Because I'm sure she gets lady after lady going after her throat. All she's doing is being feminine. Try it. You got feminine and feminism. Feminine, feminism. Choose one. I'll be honest. I don't side with you ladies for this. Because a man does have to make the right amount of money, but not so much. If you got a smart man that knows how to save his money and budgets his money wisely. And if you're a traditional wife, you're not just blowing cash as well. Is somebody listening? I know somebody's listening. I know you guys understand. I hope one of them are listening so they can understand, right? It's not about blowing the bag. That's the only control you need to have. But look, she still has on nice house dresses, looking sexy. That doesn't cost a lot of money. It looks like it does, but it doesn't. Look what it says. Oh my gosh, I have to recreate this. Another one going through it. No, this is the real dream. Exactly. I've been an oppressed military wife, stay-at-home mom for 25 years. As a 50-year-old who has a teenager left still, I'm starting to look for a job and I don't want to leave and have to answer to someone else. It's been so nice constructing my own days for 25 years. I've been whining a lot to my husband since he's the one who spoiled me. And he's retiring next year after 36 years in the military. So it's very, I don't understand. I don't see that one. Point to support a family on that income. Tell your husband, thanks for his service. Now, I got to say something. Those military guys don't sleep. You ladies, I think a lot of you sleep on the military guys, and those guys are making bank. I speak to them all the time. I have interviews with them all the time. I know there's one military guy, one of my last interviews, he brought his Filipino to the US and he's getting them jobs and he's got his other son some kind of job and he makes like 100 and something thousand a year. Yeah. In the military. Yep. I'm not surprised at all, but I'm sure some of you ladies are. Because you look at it, oh, he's in the military. No, he's not making no money. Think again.
And dear to my heart, and that is the epidemic that is male compliments. Okay, because when a girl compliments me 9 times out of 10, it's sticking with me for at least a week. Like, it makes me so excited, I take it to heart, I'm literally like ego boosted to the max. When a guy compliments me, exact opposite. Like, actually 99% of compliments from men are either so generic that it hurts or so backhanded that it might as well be an insult.
Run.
This is why men stop talking. She's young. She has no idea. She's probably just making content. Because I doubt guys are giving her compliments like that. Seriously, I look at you. I don't see anything to compliment. But if a guy is complimenting you, why? It's like you're saying, don't compliment me, guys. I'm putting this out in the world so more of you guys can see and stop talking to women. This is why guys have given up. Things like this. And then they'll say something like, say, male compliment epidemic. Then next it'll be the male loneliness epidemic, which is not true. We're going through a female loneliness epidemic because of things like this.
And I think a perfect example of this is this weekend on Sunday, I went out and I was at this rave DJ thing. And when I went to the bathroom, I was with my friend Ella and we went to the bathroom. It was literally the epitome of girlhood. Like, everywhere you looked, it was like someone being like, oh my God, I love your dress. Oh my God, I love your shoes. Oh my God, makeup slays. Oh my God, bun slay. Like, literally everyone in there, like, someone was like, should I text my ex? Everyone was like, no. Everyone was like, you're too pretty for that. Don't put up with that. Then later on in the evening, one of our guy friends picked us up because he wasn't drinking and we were drunk, and he came and picked us up, okay? We are driving home and I had gardened, and one thing about me is that I find everything to be funny. So I pull up my phone and I'm like, let's record a podcast, okay? Like, I just wanted to podcast. I wanted to kiki. One of the questions I asked him was, what's my best quality? Okay? Very easy question. Not that hard to come up with an answer. It took him 7 minutes of backhanded compliments for me to literally just stop. Like, it was actually trying, like, genuinely racking his brain to think of one singular compliment that was not backhanded. So if this video gets literally one comment being like, release the tape, I will, because I actually, like, I really think we need to bring awareness to what it's like to receive a compliment from a man.
Hold up, whoa, wait a minute. I thought the man was just complimenting you because he saw you in the street. This is a guy you asked to do it. That says a lot about you. She said she tried to do a podcast and a guy had nothing good to say. That says a lot. Plain Jane. That's what he was thinking. He should have just went out with the downright insults. You're a plain Jane. I don't like the way you do your makeup. I don't like the way you look when you go out. It would have been better. Insults, right? I'm not saying for guys to do that, but still, the way she's talking, I think that's what she needs.
Communicated and handled the situation was honestly so respectful and kind, which is bare minimum, but we don't really see this a lot with men. And if anything, it made him more attractive to me because I was like, oh, like this was a nice response. And also the fact that he can control lust. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm an attractive woman, I'm an intelligent woman, and you know, the fact that this man was able to respectfully decline because of the fact that he is not looking to date right now, or whatever it might be. Maybe he's not attracted to me or doesn't feel the same vibe. So fine. But the way that he handled it was super respectful and no hard feelings.
Wait, I'm confused. She said, because I'm an attractive woman, and I can tell he said no because he wasn't attracted to you. If you were hot, he would be like, hell yeah. Right? Like, even probably if he had a girl, probably not. I gotta say, a lot of guys, when they're in love, sometimes they don't cheat. Sometimes, right? But still, you got more turned on. I'm happy that you took it well. That's one thing I have to say. Speak more. Speak more.
And this is the first time that I've actually been rejected since actively making, you know, choices in my dating life and consciously deciding what kind of energy I want in my life, as opposed to just accepting whatever comes my way as a woman. But even then, even though rejection does suck, I have done so much work to become more confident and to be secure within myself that I don't need this man's validation. Like, this doesn't take anything away from me. I am still valuable. I'm still beautiful. I'm still intelligent. Like, it makes me think about all the men who get rejected and lash out and crash out and are violent towards women and are just so mean towards other people because they are so insecure. Like, if you think about how many men you've rejected and have been like, well, you're ugly anyway. And
Whoa, wait a minute. All right, I'm with you. Right? You went all out. The guy rejected you. You don't like men who do that, but you have to understand the men that get rejected. You probably spoke to a guy one time. These guys probably get rejected all day long, or every time they speak to a woman nowadays, they get rejected. Could you imagine how that feels? The guy makes people want to say, "Oh, you bit B's and C's and D's." Come on now. She doesn't understand a man's plight.
it's like, you must be so insecure because rejection is not that bad. It just, like, it doesn't, if you're a secure person, it doesn't take anything away from you. And if you genuinely value yourself and you think you're a good person and, you know, you
That's
just
the point a little bit.
are secure, then that wouldn't bother you in the way that it didn't bother me. I'm like, so fine, whatever. But the way that men will expose themselves and expose their insecurities and the ways in which that they actually hate themselves, because when they get rejected, they are literally become violent towards women. It's actually insane.
Well, I sat with you a little bit because the reason why I'm soft on you is because you actually got rejected and you took it very well. And you're right. A lot of guys they get out of their mind when they get rejected, and they really shouldn't. I'll tell you like this. I was a guy that would walk the streets all night and get rejected by 40 women, but I would get sometimes 10 or 5, right? Because I kept talking, walking and talking and walking and talking and talking and talking. But a lot of guys, the reason why that happens, because a lot of guys nowadays, especially, I'm talking about, this was 25 years ago I was doing this. I could imagine now. It's hell now. It's not for you because you're a feminine woman. You have to put yourself in a man's shoes to understand. That's why men can't take advice from women. You understand a man's plight somewhat, but you haven't walked a mile in a man's shoes. Until then, but yeah, guys, other than that, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.
Answer's coming.